Welcome to another YC Wisdom podcast with Magnus Müller with us. Today's the founder of Browser Use YC Winter 25 batch. Interesting guy, traveled the world, machine learning engineer would guess, also in research. So we're going to talk about his startups, his background, everything he did. Mag, welcome to the podcast. Tell us a bit more about yourself and what you're up to.
Hi. Yeah, 1 year ago we founded Prosius, got into YC. I don't know, what do you want to know? I grew up in a very tiny town in the south of Germany, 500 people, 5,000 cows, and there was not much out there. I worked in a cheese factory and studied cognitive science. It's the best study program out there. You can learn from, I don't know, from tracks over neurobiology or philosophy to AI. You just learn everything. And yeah, I got very addicted to automate stuff on my laptop to build automation scripts, but it always takes so much time to build them. So last year, me and Craig, we sat together and thought, how can we combine those two fields, like AI and browser automation, so that you can just tell your computer what it should do and actually does it for you. And so we built a small prototype, pushed it to Hacker News, and it took off.
Very nice. Who were your parents? Because you said small town, 500 people, but I guess they very much valued your education and they injected curiosity in you.
Yeah, my father built aircraft. He's like a measurement engineer. My mother, she is more on the social side. She always encouraged me to do like volunteering, so to work in a kindergarten or to try. Yeah, it's not a typical mom who tries that you become a doctor or something. She was more the opposite. Yeah, Magnus, maybe you would like to be a kindergartner or something like this.
Interesting. And then, yeah, you said you got addicted to automating stuff on your laptop. I guess that's pretty unique addiction. I mean, at that age, I was addicted to money, I guess, right? Like building companies that could bring up fast money. I don't think I ever gave a fuck about automation back then. It was just like, how can I produce money fast, right? That was my priority to gain my financial independence. How did you get addicted to that?
Hmm. A friend of mine, he designed 5,000 t-shirt designs to sell them online. And my job was to upload them online. But I hate repetitive work. I hate to go there, fill out the same form over and over again. So I start to Google, okay, how can I automate this? And the first thing which would suggest you is, oh, you can use this macro recorder, which records your mouse movement, and then you can press play. But yeah, if the website changes a little bit, it breaks, right? So over time I learned, oh, you can even use Python Selenium, like those Python libraries to automate those things. But yeah, it's just a pain if you teach it yourself to start automating with them.
Right. Yeah, I can see that. And my first serious company, I think, was a Nootropic, so that would have been valuable for all the e-commerce pages we had to do, and all the images and all the variances of that. You traveled the world 2021. I was a nomad also during these years. I think I stopped when around the time you started. I started in 2017 and stopped around after COVID, right? Because we couldn't travel anymore. It was like they just locked the borders on us. Why did you start traveling? Did the nomad desire came from?
This was actually during COVID, like in Europe, they shut things down. I was in university, my bachelor, and everything was online. And I thought, okay, why should I stay here? Like, I could go to Mexico and it would be much nicer, much cheaper, and I could still do everything remote. And at that time, I was in a relationship, and yeah, I felt very stuck in life at that point. I went over summer to this seminar. It was like about neuro-linguistic programming. Okay, it's NLP thing where they were just the weirdest and craziest people you can imagine from all sorts of life, and they just showed me how much more there is to life, and that there's a world out there which is worth to be explored, and this creates some. I thought in myself, I don't know. Sometimes you just feel it in your heart, right? That you need to go out, and it's just a curiosity. Which, and then I just booked a one-way plane to Mexico, traveled around in the beginning Airbnb to Airbnb, but then one night I was in this hostel in a bonfire. There were like people from all countries around the bonfire, and there was a Spanish guy who was telling his story how he is hitchhiking around the world, how he takes off from his lawyer job to hitchhike around the world. And there again, I felt this in my heart that I know it just beats fast, and you feel, oh, you heard those stories, but it would be incredible to experience them yourself. And I just thought, okay, I have to join this guy. And so we decided to hitchhike together around the world.
Huh, interesting. And you said you slept in hammocks. So yeah, tell me the logistics of that. Weren't you afraid to get your shit stolen, the mosquitoes? Yeah, tell me about that.
It actually teaches you a lot about startups. It's like you learn to accept the worst case scenario. So in the morning, you say 9 a.m., you say, okay, let's hit the road, let's hitchhike south. Okay, one direction, always south. South Mexico, always south. This guy, he wanted to go onto Argentina, okay? And so we hit the road, we had tents and hammocks, and we always thought, okay, you always struggle, okay, someone will pick you up, where will you sleep, what will you eat? But there's always this thought, okay, if no one will pick me up now, what's the worst case? Oh, over there are some trees, we'll just sleep there. And then you accept this, okay, this is the worst case, that we will sleep here next to this gas station. And you say, okay, it's not too bad. And then from there you just start hitchhiking, and it always ends up well. Like, we did this for many months, and it worked out great.
So how much time did you slept in a hammock in some random places, and what were some funny ass story now that you can look back at them?
This is the crazy thing. Like, in one single day, you experience more than others in like an entire year. Because you just interact so much
you.
with people, and your brain is in such a state which is, it just doesn't know what happened, so it's hyperactive, and just everything directly gets like frozen into your long-term memory. And yeah, we were around like hitchhiking 3 months in Central America. Then I did some internships, machine learning internships. Then we hitchhiked again 3 months through Middle East, like more Iran and that region. And then I did again internship, machine learning internships, and on this route I introduced more and more people to hitchhiking. So I took my sister with me, or friends, other researchers. For example, in Singapore, I did some work. I introduced them to hitchhiking, and we hitchhiked together from Singapore up north to in direction Thailand. And people love it a lot. It's a great way to meet people.
And hitchhiking, I guess, has a bad rap, right? Like with I don't know, the serial killers and all that shit. Like, didn't you get into hurdles with that, or were people just nice with you around the world and were like, hey, why not pick up this kid, have a nice conversation partner while I ride down there?
It's actually a great filter, hitchhiking, because if you hitchhike, like, only people who are up for the adventure or who are very friendly take you. Normally people who hate you, they don't take you because they don't like you, right? So it's an awesome filter for people. In terms of bad rep, I think your human instinct is incredible, right? Like, you're in a fuel station and you just feel, okay, do I like this guy? Do I not? Do I want to go with him or not? Like, your human instinct is incredible. So, like, I've never had any. I mean, I've of course had many weird situations with people, but I've never felt like
And like
I
a
was never
technical
killed.
guy, yeah, I know that. Thanks for mentioning. um, a technical guy like you, why not use BlaBlaCar, or have a systems behind it, and why not try to build an app on the back of that concept?
I use BlaBlaCar a bit, but I would say it's more adventurous. It's so much more. Like, in BlaBlaCar, you select, okay, this city to this city, and it works. But it's much less boring than going through Central America, sitting in the back of a pickup, having like your friends around you, listening to music, and then you go by like thousands of banana plantages, and I don't know, and then you see people with camels on back of their pickups. I don't know, it's just so random, and your brain is so much more like alive and in the moment than if you would have something where you know exactly the outcome.
Yeah, I love that. Makes me envious because my nomad journey was more on the luxury side of things and less adventurous. It was like long-term stays on Airbnb, right? And I always wanted the best Airbnb with the best view. Um, don't you miss that adventure nowadays that you're more stable right now? How do you bring that up to yourself nowadays as a more stable foot on the ground guy?
Yeah, it's a very hard question. I think the question is, how can you bring adventure into your everyday life? How can you make your daily meeting adventurous? How can you make your interactions? How can you make those tasks in your linear dashboard adventurous for you? And it's definitely harder, but because in a startup, it's similar. Okay, there are so many unexpected things happening. You get a lot of rejection. You have not a lot of control. You have one direction. It's very, very similar to hitchhiking.
My question was more maybe like live a somewhat normal life during the weekdays and then just like on Friday, just take your hammock and go in the SF mountains or whatever. Do you still do some of that?
I, my life, it's more. Uh, I go fully in on one thing, like for many months, and then I go fully in traveling for some months. So it's not like I don't like to split like in the week. I like to just work, like just focus my entire brain on this. And then after some time, yeah, maybe, I mean, for sure there will be at one point in my life a point where I will do many new adventures again.
But do you think this is startup compatible? Are you saying like having an exit in like less than a year? Or like if I'd be an investor and knowing that, I'd be like, fuck, I wouldn't never invest in that guy, knowing he'll just bounce after like a year or two.
No. I don't plan this at all. I also don't plan exit in the next year.
How would you describe your personality? Granted that you're like a weird mix that loves to go on adventure, but also can focus. I believe these are rare traits to exist in one person's brain.
Hmm. Maybe it's just curiosity, something. I don't know.
What does a day in your life look like nowadays? Are you crunching like 16 hours, like pure code? Like, what's your role in the company?
Mm. Right now I do less coding. I'm more CEO. Right now we are now 8 people, and so this morning I wake up, or okay, this day started. I don't know. We went to bed at like 3. We were like coding in the night, fixing stuff. But normally it's okay. Waking up, Hubermanster, getting some sunlight. Then we have a daily war room at 9 a.m. where our team comes together, and we have to do it. If everyone gets one goal for the day, okay, and if they don't complete this goal, all others have to do push-ups, okay. So, for example,
I
three in
thought
the
you'd say all the others needed to help them to complete that
no,
goal.
no,
But
no,
there's like do push-ups.
no. If, for example, 3 people don't manage to achieve their goal, then we have to do 60 push-ups, each of us. So this is, for example, from an adventure, okay, how you can bring this into your company, and
Yeah, that's
then
good.
I don't know. It's like sometimes meetings, sometimes I right now use a lot of Claude Code. I use Claude Code and say, please analyze my retention in my database. Which people run more than 100 prompts but struggled and then never came back? Oh, please draft them all a personalized email and send it out via Gmail MCP. Or these them emails. Or I say stuff like, oh, I don't like this conversion flow on our website. Please fix it and merge. So it's like but I don't type. I speak a whisper flow. I have like 20 Cloud Code instances open. Then sometimes they events. Yesterday here, the ClawdBot guy was here in SF, so I went to like a YC event. Sometimes there are other YC founders coming over to our hacker house. Then yeah, speaking of customers, fixing things for them, I would say it changes a lot the day to day, but it's nice.
Yeah, I like that. Hey, help me understand how can people only speak and stop typing? Like you're not the first SF guy that I heard using Whisper Flow. I could never get used to it. I love typing. It helps me think. It helps me
Hmm.
see my thoughts. Do
Hmm.
you understand what I mean here? Don't and like what how can you break that? How does that make you more efficient?
I see. So basically, when you type, you like to see, for example, Notion or something. You like to see your thoughts in a structured way.
Yeah, because else it's all in my head. I can also visualize stuff pretty quickly, so I guess that could fix what I'm saying. But I'd love just seeing the words as I type them, or is that just a
Ah,
habit?
okay.
How does it help you? How did you went from the classic way to that way? And do you feel it's a real productivity hack?
Yeah, definitely. Like for me, typing feels like a bottleneck often. For me, I don't want to see my words. I want to see my output. For example, I want to see um, how in a website, okay, maybe the conversion flow is ugly and I hate this one button. So I want to change that. That's my end result. So I say, hey, change that, fix that. But I don't care about the words which I type here. I don't even look at my words, or I even send it without looking at it. I don't go back to the prompts or to the words. I just look at the PR or at the website which is then changed and see if this is fixed. Or if I send emails, like it helps me a lot with procrastination. Like if I get like tough emails, for example, which I procrastinate and I don't want to respond them, I get this a lot because it's for me, I'm a coder, right? It's much easier to get into the flow with coding than with like business stuff. So if I procrastinate on such tasks, I just tell Claude, hey, I procrastinate here, please help me. And even if it just formulates a draft and all like it already has them like in Gmail as a draft, um, even if it's like not ideal and maybe I need to change something, because it's like the first step. You know, people always said to overcome procrastination, you need to do the first step in this direction. And this is for me the first step. Just telling Claude what I need to do is like such an easy first step. It does something, and often it doesn't even matter that it's like the correct step, but it's a step towards the goal. And I say, oh, I don't like this, please change this. And then I think, oh, I'm like 90% satisfied with this, just send, you know? And it yeah
Yeah, I get
overcomes
it.
this fear of procrastination, this pain.
Huh, interesting. I tend to have fixed that procrastination stuff years ago, I would say, except after supper when I have a lot of food digesting in my body. I feel my brain is a bit lazy and inefficient. And I fix that through various stuff like taking teas or just engaging in a 15 minutes session of Call of Duty, which gives me cortisol and adrenaline. How do you manage being a technical guy and handling the business side, the CEO role? Do you feel you're already good at the human side of things and making deals, taking decisions, or is that something you're still learning?
I get better and better at this. I would say for me the shift was in October last year, where I did like 90% coding to almost zero, and this was super hard. Like I would say down, super hard to get into flow, procrastination, and so on. And now I would say I get better and better, and just know what the impact is of my decision, what the impact is if I don't do the stuff. Like you just get more experience and see, okay, if you do this, what will happen? If you do this way, what will happen? And based on this, I feel I get much better. And but there's many things to learn, of course. Hi, Joe.
Yeah, Joe's in love with Magnus. I'm in love with you too. Like you have a very intriguing brain that I don't even get the often get the chance to dissect. What are very cool agentic flows that you have right now that I'd be like, oh shit, this is intriguing and useful and efficient and makes me
Yeah.
shitloads of money?
So for sure, dot code for email. Okay, Gmail MCP, super helpful. Then dot code connected to your user database, analyzing tasks, analyzing retentions, finding users who churn, finding users who struggle, writing customized emails based on a task. Super helpful.
Why Claude Code and not Coword?
Because I'm used to Cloud Code, I don't know if I've never tried Cowork. I guess it's the same. I guess it's the same.
Yeah, very much.
And then
Okay, what else?
yeah, the browser agents, they just become very, very good right now. So you can run them like on your LinkedIn, for example, to say, oh, please find from my network, find like the last 1,000 connections and see which of those are inside my ICP, and then cluster them, and to which should I reach out, and draft me a message. And then it says, oh, okay, here are your drafts, like some hours later. And then say, okay, please reach out to all of them. So browser agents doing stuff in a browser for you, they get better and better. I would say often also for data analysis tasks, like we, for example, have some workflows set up. Every day when someone goes to our GitHub and likes or stars our GitHub, then every hour we have like a ClawdBot running who checks and with browser use skill gets our recent stargazers and then gets their profile, enriches them, sees are they interesting to us, like should we hire them, should we maybe sell something to them.
Whoa,
and then
that's cool.
And then it says, oh, this person is very interesting. It pings us on Slack. Okay, this person is interesting. And it can even send them emails. So that's cool.
Fuck yeah. I like that.
Or I think
you have
for
the
you,
capital to hire these people? Have you raised something yet, or
we raised 17 million, yeah.
17?
Yeah, 17. And so
Congrats.
I think one flow which is also interesting is, especially when you ask for making money, is if you have, for example, a power user. Let's say you have a power user who does like logistic automation, okay? You can just ask Claude find similar companies like this, okay? And then you say, oh, please find the head of AI for those. And it can just go, and find like 50 similar companies for you. And then you can say, oh, please draft them all a personalized message and send it out to them, and stuff like this, which you always thought, oh, this would
How
be
fast does
interesting
it, right? Because I do outreach as a service. To me, is like, I have more efficient ways of doing that, but how fast does it send these emails? How good are these emails?
Yeah. That's the thing. You can just go over them. So,
but you have a high conversion rate. It works for you. So
this is something which I started last week doing with Cloud. So I can tell you conversion rate next week.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just another task, which I always procrastinated on, and just gets so much easier to complete it.
Yeah, I love it, dude. What are your goals for this year? Where do you want to?
Yeah, we want to be the default We want to be the default way how AI interacts with the browser. So everyone who has some AI agents running who should interact with the browser, they should use browser use. Be everywhere, like an OpenClaw and an agent browser. If enterprise want to automate flows inside the browser and run like millions of them, for example, to download files, to fill out forms, to extract data, to log in somewhere, to extract data behind. We want to be the default way how people do this with browser agents.
Okay. Do you have to be technical to use your product? When will you have your own ChatGPT-like product?
Yeah, we have this already. You don't have to be technical. You can, use it. That's actually the core thing. If you want to automate something in a browser, you don't have to like write some code anymore. You can just prompt it, and then if the website changes, the agent can just adopt, and it's very robust.
Okay, I love it. Hey, last random question for you. You said ClawdBot. How do you trust ClawdBot? Like, you install this thing on your terminal, can do like whatever it fucking wants with your computer. Like, why do you trust it? How did you vet it, these guys?
Yeah, so we have it on a Mac Mini. So one important principle
separate Mac Mini, I hope.
Yeah, it's like there are two components, right? The question is who can prompt your Claude Code, and what access does your Claude Code have? Okay, and I would say those are always in a balance. If it has like maximum access to all your emails, to all your production data, to all your all your data, whatever, then there should be like only like one person, only you, who can prompt it. If you give it like restrictive access and you give it maybe no access, browsing tool, only like ChatGPT-like functions, then you can, for example, give it access to your entire customer support. That if someone from your customer support sends a ticket, it just gets sent there. It has like minimal access and can respond to them. So that like the likelihood of someone doing prompt injection there is like low. So I would say it's always the question how much access you give versus how many people have access to it.
Got it. Well, Magnus, thank you for coming on. Where can people find out more about you?
Again, just follow us on X or go to browsers.com and try it out. They can try it out for free and start automating stuff in the browser. And so that they can only just tell their computer what it should do and it does it for them.
Yeah, I love it. That was Magnus and Charles for another YC Wisdom podcast.